Hey, how you going? Welcome to episode 175 of Melbourne Musos. My name is Chris Quinlan and welcome to the show. That pattern that I did was pretty much off the cuff. I've done very little rehearsal with this show. Actually, I've just sat down and played. So I'll explain as I go. I'll probably be explaining it to myself as well a little bit today, I should say. Anyway, what it was depending on how you're counting, that rhythm that I was doing was in either 6/4, okay, or 1 2 3 4 5 6, 1 2 3 4 5 6, or in 3/4 if you wanted to think of it more semi-quaver style. Okay, so essentially the start of the rhythm was boom ra da ra da boom ra ra da like this. Do that last bit right? I don't know. Anyway, now you could either think of it as 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and, or you can just think of it as straight 1 2 3 4 5 6 1 2 3 4 5 6. Now it's 6/4, not 6/8. 6/8 is a compound time moving on from the last episode, which was 174. It's not a compound time. I'm thinking groups of 3 really, which would tend to make it more of a 3/4 really. But I'm starting to talk in circles now. 6/4 or 3/4, which is essentially, I tend to think in groups of 2. So it'll be 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and, or 1 2 3 4 5 6, 1 2 3 4 5 6. What tends to give it away a little bit is the foot pattern that I used, which is this. After the 4 on the floor, which is this, the 2 feel, which is this pattern, would be the most used foot pattern in the world, I would say, after that, because it's used in so many Latin-based rhythms, you see, which it's so much so its most popular name is the Latin bass drum, okay, and that's what that is. So, but what I'm actually doing, that's essentially a pattern that's based on 4/4, 1 2 and 3 4 and 1 2 and 3 4 and 1 2 and 3 4 and 1, but I'm not. In the solo, I wasn't counting it like that. I was thinking more in terms of 1 2 3 1 2 3, or 1 2 3 4 5 6 1 2 3 4 5 6 1 2 and 3 4 and 5 6 1 2 3 4 5 6 1. That's how I was thinking. Okay. So that's how I sort of set that up with the main pattern for the hands, which was this. Maybe I should use the microphone, which is that. And that's essentially, there's a 5-stroke roll in there. For those of you who know, a 5-stroke roll is 5 taps played, executed mainly with double taps. So it'd be right, right, left, left, right. And you could see that in there. That's how it sort of works. I'll do it again for you. Get that? And then build it up a bit so that it gets quick, I suppose. That's just practice, and here we go. Okay, so that's what that is there. So with my right hand, I was moving between the floor tom and the snare drum, giving a waltz feel, essentially. Sort of an angry waltz feel, actually, sort of very bombastic. I don't know if many people know about an angry waltz, but it usually happens with disillusioned fusion players. Okay, the only gigs they get is wedding receptions. I shouldn't say that, should I? But it's one of those kinds of things. You know, keep the beat straight, mate. There's some old ducks over there, can't keep up with ya. All that sort of stuff. I will never get a gig again. And who'd want to? Anyway, so what it is oh dear, what have I just done? Anyway, so there's the Angry Waltz. Maybe I should call it the Angry Waltz. You know, sort of thing. You probably make more of a statement doing things like that at a wedding reception rather than at a heavy metal rock gig, because everyone's angry at heavy metal. But if you're the only guy angry at a wedding reception, apart from the mother-in-law, you're really making a statement, I suppose. So, yeah, why not? Anyway, where did I just go then? Okay, so getting back to it, I'll just put that into place with the couple of things that I talked about. So I suppose tonight's episode is called The Angry Waltz. Here we go. Now, there's something else that you've probably just found out about the drums and music in general. If you have, let's just put it this way. Music is one of the greatest stress relievers in the world, okay? If you're pretty lost and you need to find something, find music for God's sake, okay? Get a drum and play the crap out of it, okay? And there's this whole thing about negative into positive energy, all right? And that's something I just wanted to prove a little bit there and then, okay? Might be a bit of sneaky TV, but hopefully I can get a bit of a message across. There's a lot of frustrations in the world right now, and both, you know, maybe in our private lives and in our public air domain, the world in general kind of stuff. Obviously, this is an episode that is most obviously a year past September 11 and stuff, and there's a lot of anger and frustration everywhere. And what can you do? Okay, you feel completely helpless about things, but the thing is, you do what you do best. Okay, you do what you do best, and stick with it. This is what this is about tonight. Okay, and if it's a waltz beat, and you don't like where you are because it's one of, you know, like it's a gig that you don't particularly want to do or something like that, be somewhere else. Just be somewhere else. It might cost you $150 a week, but if you're happier at the long run, you know, it's just going to make the world a better place, all right, sort of thing. I don't want to do the universe and the cosmos and the meaning of life in a drum tip show, but hey, it helps, okay? So there you go. Let me get back into the subject at hand, which is the Angry Waltz. What I do then is, with that, put in the Latin bass drum. Here we go. There it is there. Let me use the piccolos a little bit now, okay? What I'm going to do now is set up the same rhythm, maybe change the tempo a little bit, maybe a bit slower, and try to make it less angry. So what we'll do now is I'm going to put my right hand over this side. So somewhere over here, and my left hand is essentially going to play some kind of a melody over here with the piccolos, all right? Melody is everything, even in a rhythmic instrument, okay? If you're playing a melodic instrument, get rhythmic. If you're playing a rhythmic instrument, get melodic, okay? General rule of thumb. Here we go. I'll see what I come up with this. One of the big things about drumming is positioning, okay? Now, what I had to do there to get that, you saw me playing like this, okay? And what it is when you have an instrument which is as large as a drum kit, I was talking last episode about peripheral vision and all that sort of business, and it really is a matter of finding out your spaces and being able to, know where your kit is, know where the notes are, and all that sort of stuff. So it really is target practice in a lot of ways, and that's what I was doing there. Now, what happens is I was trying to come up with a bit of a melody here, but essentially, it's what we call coordinated independence, and what that is basically, to the untrained eye, let's say, it seems like I'm doing one thing with the feet, another thing with the hands, and something completely different with the other hand, okay, right hand and left hand, okay. In my brain, it's not quite that simple to a certain degree. What you don't see is all the practice that builds up to this, okay. Now what it is you do some almost sequencing effects with your own body, and what I mean by that is that you might start with the Latin bass drum, and then over that you learn to practice maybe your right hand. Maybe add the left hand as well. Single stroke roll this. This is slowing it down, and did you notice I started to put in double taps there, and then I built it up, so it's like this. So on, you see. Can you see how it builds up? Then I put my right hand, say, between the cymbal and the floor tom here. So it's this. Now that's fairly straightforward. But then what I'll do is put my left hand over here. Now all that requires is a stretch. Okay, and still I'm dealing with a single stroke roll. Here we go. Now I'm going to improvise something with the left hand, but essentially it's all single stroke roll. Here we go. Could you see the stretch there? Okay. Now I'll put in the feet and bring it back up to speed, and hopefully you can put all the bits and pieces together, and you'll be able to understand what you're listening to. Okay, here we go. Okay, there you go. So there's that for you. Now I better start wrapping the show up now, but can you see the correlation now between what I'm doing and how I started the show? Now the show, halfway through the show, I came up with the title of the show, The Angry Waltz. And what it is that solo I just played then, I started it off in 4/4. But about 3/4 of the way through, I started to think Angry Waltz again, sort of thing. And what it is it's the feeling of putting that in. Now, when I go back to the sticking, that will start to give the 3/4 feel. The sticking, I mean, is this one. One, two, three, four, five, six. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, and then putting it with the beat. And Bob's your auntie. You can get the you can start to get the solo at hand. So I'll tie it up a little bit. I'll go back in and start building it up. Okay, I'll try and start as simple as I can, and then I'll try to become as stupid as I can. Okay, here we go. Okay, so there it is there. I didn't get that stupid, I hope, but I hope you got the drift of the music I'm trying to make on the drums, which is drums ain't music. Okay, we're just here to back up musicians, aren't we, after all? Sorry. Anyway, so what it is the Angry Waltz tonight, talking about something that I'm thinking more and more in 6/4. I'm using a sticking pattern over the top. I'm dubbing it the Angry Waltz, and using melody and different patterns to create that melody, and all the bits and pieces of my drum kit here. So there it is. Episode 175, and it's Melbourne Musos. And if you want to give me an email, melbournemusos@hotmail.com. My name is Chris Quinlan, Melbourne Musos. See you next week.